And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
I'm not actually as fond of the term African American because it mimics an immigration story. We weren't immigrants. We were slaves who were brought here, and by the way, one of the foundational, therefore, populations of the founding of America. Black and white says it kind of to me. We came here as Africans and Europeans and built this country together, some of us in chains.
Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Tired of being censored on social media? Join 6zeros.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated. And we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 6zeros.net. Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 6zeros.net. Ah.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. And this is the midweek report. And, we got our special guest with us tonight. Of course, we have Brother Black Alpha Network in the house, And what we're going to do, we're going to greet the fam first, but we're going to bring him in shortly. Not going to bring him up just yet, but so you already know who is here. His name is in the title. So if you want to follow his channel, you could definitely do so by hitting his @ name in the title, and then that'll take you to his channel, and you can subscribe right there. And speaking of subscribing, please like, share, and subscribe this broadcast as you are coming in. If you could do so, much appreciated. And, hopefully everybody is doing well. If you have not already joined, you could actually hit the join button now, too. Become a member, because as y'all know, there was no Friday show because we were doing the musical thing. So, we definitely have a lot of musical footage to put up. And like I said, I'm going to be putting most of that up in the members area, the members section. So if you join this channel, you'll be able to see some of that stuff. Let's see who we got here, though. Let's greet everyone in the chat, because it has been since last Wednesday since I did an actual live. I went live from, of course, the show last week. But yeah, not the same. Not the same. Let me see what we got here. Lawrence Lilly in the house. What is going on, brother? Judah Queen in the house. Welcome, my sister. Aboriginal woman. Shalom. Dark-skinned brother in the house. Yes, sir. Key Prince in the house. Welcome. Cyberdyne 100. What's going on? Of course, my brother, Black Alpha in the house. Queen Alpha in the house. What is going on, my sister? Salute to you. Deneen Soul in the house. Hey. All right. So we are here coast to coast right now. All right. So real quick, let me get this other piece in here. Did y'all catch what the very beginning? For those who did not see the very, very beginning of this broadcast, if you guys are still coming in, I'm going to play the very first clip that I opened the show with one more time so you can hear things for yourself. You don't have to take our word for it. But check this out.
I'm not actually as fond of the term African American because it mimics an immigration story. We weren't immigrants. We were slaves who were brought here. And by the way, one of the foundational, therefore, populations of the founding of America. Black and white says it kind of to me. We came here as Africans and Europeans and built this country together, some of us in chains.
Well, there you have it. Heat St. Cloud, welcome, welcome. What is going on? Heat up in the building. Black first. Yes, indeed. So let me see where I want to go here. So I have a quick video that I'm going to play for you. It's not long at all. Well, actually, it's about maybe 3 minutes. And then after that, you will be greeted with my brother, our guest for this evening, Black Alpha Network. And like y'all said, the name is in the description. Actually, not even, it's in the title. So you can, now that YouTube has the @ feature, you can literally hit that and it'll take you to his page directly. And you can go and subscribe. And then, while you're here, you should have already hit subscribed. I would have hoped that would have taken place. Rhonda Smith in the house. What is going on? David Boyd in the house. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so as y'all know, out here in Portland, we are having a snowstorm right now. So it's not just snow, it's wind too. But at least it's not ice, not yet. But, it's starting to pile up a little more than they anticipated, I think. That's usually how it happens out here because we don't really get a ton of snow. But when we do, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we only maybe going to get a trace. Yeah, this ain't no trace. I mean, traffic is jacked up. I'm like, I looked at some of the freeway because they're like, here, everything is, like, all the news here is all about what's going on in traffic right now. Because it's kind of rush. It should be ending rush hour traffic right now. But no, they're going to be there a little while longer. Lord. It is serious business out there. So if anybody, I did not say Siri. If anybody is out there in Portland or anywhere where you guys are at and the weather is treacherous, drive safely. Deneen Soul and wait, I seen that. Bundle up, boys. Okay. That's what I would, okay, you said freezing rain here? Oh, and oh wow. I guess everybody up north is pretty much getting it. One who cares. Good evening. Welcome. Okay, so this video is uploaded, and like I said, when we come back, I'll bring my brother up, and we will get this conversation started. So, but like I said, can't do my white women wipeout Wednesdays like I would like to, because of course that's copyrighted material. But every now and then we come up with a little short reel for the family, for your viewing pleasure and enjoyment. This one still has some viewing pleasure and enjoyment, but there's also something that really is going to stick out. So let's check this out.
This crime bill, when it passes, the Biden-Hatch crime bill, as it becomes law, God willing, I hope that we will have ended once and for all this notion that is a hangover from the 60s, that somehow Democrats are weak on crime and Democratic presidents are weak on crime and Republicans are tough on crime. The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill. and has had a majority vote of the Democratic members of the United States Senate on the bill. So one of the things I want to do in addition to end the crime is end the political carnage that goes on when we talk about crime. Crime is not Democrat or Republican. Making the streets safe is not a Democratic or Republican issue. This is one of those issues I hope this passage of this bill will be taken out of the gridlock category and moved into an emerging consensus. And the consensus is as follows, and I will cease when I finish this statement. The consensus is, A, we must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
All right. Yeah, I hope that last one sticks with any Biden sexuals that are watching. With that being said, shout out to my brother right here. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, my partner in crime with the certified truth, as we do on Twitter Spaces. This is the Black Alpha Network, Black Alpha 6, right here off up in the house right here. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Certified salute to everybody. B1, power to the people. Let's cook, brother.
Yes, sir. So, we wanted to do this space, was the last week. And we were going to hit this topic last week. We had the topic in the conversation. The conversation took a turn, as sometimes, that can happen because people have things on their mind and they want to get it off their chest.
Never a dull moment, brother.
Man. So, sometimes you can sometimes the conversation has to go in certain places. And it's, I guess, overall, looking back in retrospect, it's good that it did because it opened up a conversation in a space that we weren't really having it. So it did open up the door, especially with more of the grassroots voices, the new black media voices kind of picking up the conversation. And, you can't really help but hear the conversation when it's right there in front of you. So now understanding with the OMB thing that's going on, and now Brother Tariq Nasheed has also chimed in on that I think it's a general consensus that we want to get FBA on the OMB. So with that being said, that's how the conversation took the turn then. So getting back to the original topic of discussion, which was going over the language of opposition and also the divisive agendas. And we see that a whole lot. And we're actually seeing it with this OMB thing as well. So everything seems to be interwoven. You know what I'm saying, brother? You want to go ahead and give us your piece on that?
The more you get on code, the more off-coded people are going to come at you. And that's what we understand. And we've been saying that for how long, brother? That's the main thing. When you on track, somebody going to try to derail you. You got to be prepared for it. You're never going to be on code and doing your thing, and folks are just going to sit back and take it. There's always going to be opposition. We're people that are always going to have opposition because heavy is the head who wears the crown, and we wear the crown. So therefore, we're ready for it, man. So if you look around, we got lineage ops, we got public ops, social ops, political ops. Everybody from every which way is coming at FBA, but we build for it. We build for it, family. So I'll just tell the people, man, stay strong, stay up on game, stay dangerous, stay lethal, and we're gonna always get what we're gonna get, man. Our history proves it. So let's go. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Facts. And I see Brother Torian Rain Reloaded in the house, and Kid Gravity in the house. What is going on, my brothers? Maxwell Jenkins, what's going on, brother? Yes, indeed. Tanya Zion in the house. Yes, yes, yes. Film animation art. Welcome. Oh, and Key Prince said, thank you for starting that conversation. The recent recent podcast was on point. And yeah, your recent podcast was definitely on point, my brother. Yeah.
Fire, boy. Hey, we had to put a couple people on that screen, you know what I'm saying? And there's going to be more to come. It's early in the year, brother. So by the end of the year, by 2024, man, that list is going to be completely full the way it needs to be. So let's keep it pushing.
Absolutely, brother. And so, you know, like we briefly spoke earlier, one of the things that happened today, I think also when understanding the language of opposition and even going back to the COINTELPRO situation, that we now are seeing grassroots COINTELPRO happening right now, you know, and that's what I was looking at coming. I kind of anticipated it coming because we are, once you silence a sector of, I guess for what we say the boule, once you kind of quiet that, then you're gonna have to get a new wave of faces and voices talking about, oh, we grassroots. And if you notice, you starting to see some of these so-called grassroots people who have been known to be affiliated with certain parties and whatnot. You're noticing them getting a little more attention. Are you feel what I'm saying, brother?
Man, absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny how the dirty paperwork always tries to come on our doorstep, brother. Everybody with dirty paperwork. We see people with dirty paperwork all the time, and they always kind of, you know, come over to where we are. So, yeah, I've been seeing it, man. But, you know, that bag has been getting exchanged. I think we spoke about it on the space before for the brothers and sisters who tapped in. We said that a lot of the progress that we've been making in this movement recently has been front and center. We were on the front page. So now you're starting to see a lot of back channel dealers. You know, basically, if somebody cannot beat you out here in the streets, then they got to go behind the scene, you know, behind closed doors. So there's been a lot of handshakes. There's been a lot of oppositions exchanging deals and briefcases and all types of stuff, man. But that's the only way people can never come at FBA. They got to ambush us. They always got to be backdoor and sneaky. Anybody who sees us eye to eye, face to face, man to man, man to woman, woman to man, all across the board, they know what time it is. We always prevail. So they're going through the back door right now, the attic, the basement, the window. You know, close all your damn windows, man, because they're trying to come on in, man. But, you know, when they get here, we'll be waiting on them, man. We're too certified for that.
Man, I'm telling you, because, you know, when you see a lot of these people who are usually talking against reparations, or who you would suspect would talk against reparations, like even a Condoleezza Rice, for her to start using, like, even saying foundational, to start using the terminology that is being established by the grassroots, what do you think would kind of be a fear of the old guard, shall we say, or the old gatekeeper class? What would be the fear for them if we really take a hold of identifying ourselves? What do you think about that?
The fear is immense. The fear is immense, brother. It's everywhere. It's all across the board in every spectrum. When we get on our game and we get on code, in which I believe we're on code more than any time before. Much respect to every other generation. I salute them. We stand on their shoulders. But right now, history is being written in FBA handwriting. We got our fingerprints everywhere. So the fear is immense. They don't know what's next. They don't know because they didn't even plan on it getting here. They thought they were just going African American. They thought they was going Yes We Can. They thought they was going Black Lives Matter. Think about it. We have personally deleted all three of those terms. BLM, gone. Black Lives Matter, gone. All Lives Matter, gone. Anything that they've put in front, we've gotten rid of it. The African American term, come on, brother. We got out of there. We kept the American. We just put foundational on it, which makes us even more fresh. So, yeah, brother, fear is immense. They don't know what to expect right now. So I believe that a lot of that language is them trying to get in front of it. They're trying to get in front of it so they can be like, either we were down with them or we can kind of try to, control them. Whatever it is, brother, they scared. They're going to go to bed tonight. They're going to be scared. They're going to wake up in the morning. They're going to be scared. And then they're going to recycle and repeat. But that's just, credit to us being on code, and credit to us for doing what nobody's ever done before, man. We're making history, y'all. We're making history. So let's just make sure that we finish strong. We hit the 3-pointer as the buzzer expires, man, and we win the championship. So that's where I'm at with it.
Man. Man, for real. And like you said, we're making history real time. So I don't think there's been anything like this on this scale, this quick, to say, oh, okay, we need to get in front of this. And so you're seeing all types of tricks being pulled out right now. Let me take a real quick second. I see Patricia Slade said, Jersey City in the house. Welcome. Yeah, that was a new name. Let's see. Shawana S in the house. What is going on? Sister Miriam in the house. What is going on, sister? L Skin. Yeah, what's going on, L Skin? And Cynthia. Welcome. So, like I was saying, brother, Malcolm X, the family of Malcolm X, Malcolm Shabazz, they are suing the government. And of course, they got Ben Crump representing them, which, you take it as you will. But one thing he is a civil rights attorney. So this kind of seems like one of those things that's kind of tailor-made for, like, if he wasn't so tainted in certain views of people, I don't know if this would be so bad, if people would see it, but I don't know. But I want to play some of their press conference and let you hear, because the daughter spoke as well. So let's take a look and listen.
In this very room, one of the greatest thought leaders ever known in the 21st century was assassinated. And since that time, there has been speculation as to who was involved in the assassination of Malcolm X. We know on November 18th, 2021, it was confirmed and substantiated that the government agencies, the New York Police Department, the FBI, the District Attorney of New York, had factual evidence, exculpatory evidence, that they fraudulently concealed from the men who were wrongfully convicted for the assassination of Malcolm X.
Good grief, brother. Now, okay, brother. Now it just when you think this is a multi-million-dollar lawyer, does he sound like a multi-million-dollar lawyer to you?
Far from Johnny Cochran, brother. Far from Johnny Cochran.
Yeah, I just wonder how does the courtroom look like when he's working?
Well, think about it, brother. A lot of times, have you ever seen a picture of him in the courtroom?
No.
Ambulance.
No, I have not. Not a deal making. Let me see. The daughter spoke. That's what I really want to get to. I want to get to her speech because we hear Ben Crump enough.
To make sure that some measure of justice can be given to Malcolm X's daughters who in this very room were present with their mother when he was shot at 21 times, 17 bullets hitting him. If anybody deserves justice after these decades, it is these women. So at this time, you will hear from Malcolm's daughter, Ilyasa Sibaz.
On February 21st, 1965, my mother came here excited to see her husband because a week prior, her home had been firebombed. She walked in here happy, and she left out shattered. Today, we will celebrate our father's life and legacy with the community because it is something that my mother did every year, that for as long as I can remember, with my sisters and just the larger community. We will also seek justice for a man, a very young man, he was only 39 years old, who gave his life for human rights. For years, our family has fought for the truth to come to light concerning his murder, and we'd like our father to receive the justice that he deserves. Wow. The truth about the circumstances leading to the death of our father is important, not only to his family, but to many admirers, many who look to him for guidance, for love. And it is our hope that litigation of this case will finally provide some unanswered questions. We want justice served for our father. Thank you.
Man, well, shout out to them. Shout out to them. You know, like that's pretty dope, man. I'm glad that they are moving into the motion of justice on that. You know, I'm sure many of people will feel some kind of way with being Crump being there. That's neither here nor there for me. But you know, if he settles, I would imagine it's going to be a good one. But what do you think about that, brother?
Man, first off, brother, you know, I want to send a salute to the whole Shabazz family, brother. You could tell that, you know, obviously, respectfully, they've been carrying that for years. And I've heard her speak before, and I got a lot of respect for her. I've followed a lot of statements she says, and, you know, she's been known for years like we've been known for years. Everybody's been known for years. What they say, the streets know. The streets been known for a long, long time, brother. You know how it go. It's like real life out here, man, when, you know, everybody knows, but nobody acts on it. So salute to them for acting on it. You know what I'm saying? And making it happen. You could tell that she's been carrying that with her for a very, very long time, obviously, because that's her father and, you know, as well as her mother. And there's been a lot of other hardships that have occurred, you know, post the slaying of our brother Malcolm. And, you know, I hope everything works out perfect, man. If you got to get the bag, you got to get the bag, man. And the bag is owed to you. You know, it's par for the course, brother. It's kind of like what this era is. It's like black people who have been harmed, whether it's your family particularly or it's your whole family tree, we coming back for everything that is owed. We coming back for everything that is owed. You're not going to walk around here and harm us and just dilly-dally and go on about your life, and then we have this terrible ending. No, you're going to put some 20s on some 50s on top of some hundreds, and you're going to pay up. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely hope they get everything that they are, you know, owed and they deserve. And I believe they will, family, because the evidence is very overwhelming. But salute to the whole family. And you all know it's always respect to Brother Malcolm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see Blackjack in the chat. What's going on, brother? What is going on, Blackjack 21? Let's see. So let me see. Let me get here. Get this all out here. Move that. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to address in this topic of op language.
It's out there, brother.
You know, again, we did our space yesterday.
Yeah.
And just what I was noticing is, when you start hearing the same phrasing of words, and you start hearing the same patterns of conversation over and over and over again, it's from different people. Like, that's like, okay, there's something to take notice of there. And so just picking out language of opposition, because again, we're talking about getting reparations, right? We're talking about justice. We're talking about dismantling the system of white supremacy, and replacing it with the system of justice. Uh, these people will come around and they will talk, like, oh yeah, man, black first, black first. Because see, again, right now, this is like the off year. This ain't a voting year. So this is where a lot of people have an opportunity to talk black, because we heard that in the late 2000 teens. Man, them Democrats been taking us for granted. Them Democrats been taking us for granted. But we gotta vote down ballot Democrat. Now, if you ain't gonna vote for the president, but you at least got to vote for somebody. So what you want to do is vote down ballot Democrat. Yeah. So when we're talking language of opposition, what are some of the key things that kind of set your alarms off?
Oh man, I love that question, brother. Oh yeah, let's go there. Let's go all the way there, family. All right. Think about everything that we say, and think about it coming from people who are not us. That's one of the main components. Like you said, brother, they'll be running around here saying foundational, B1, power to the people, justice, reparations is going to be the main one. It's going to be the talking point. They're not going to really be about reparations, but they're going to speak on reparations and they're going to talk as if they want it. So those are one of the main things that we got to always focus on. They're going to always come sounding like us. To be endearing to us is what it is. And you know what? It's par for the course, brother. Brother Malcolm X said it. He said somebody's going to come with a bite and a smile. Somebody's going to come with a bite and a growl. Okay. And those are going to be the two sides that you see. See, our brother's still talking to us. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be those two right there, brother. You're going to have the people who are going to come and they're going to play the good cop, bad cop, the overt, the covert, the liberal, conservative. But at the end of the day, the denominator is all anti-black racism. It's all anti-foundational black American racism, which is exclusive to us and we deal with solely on our own. So the opposition language that I watch for is the person who comes in sounding endearing. People heard me say this before on the Black Alpha Network. 99.9% of people who are not FBA, who say they support FBA, do not support FBA. They're only saying it for their own reasons, whether that's their own political organization, whether that is their own political party, or whether that is their own political group. And, we dealt with a bunch of them yesterday, brother. So they're running around, man, and they're going to always sound endearing, and they're going to make it sound good, too. They're going to put some sprinkles on it, man. They're going to put some roses. They're going to polish it up. It's going to sound very, very good because that's how much they watch us. That's how much, trust me, ops are very intelligent. You don't just become an op. You got sloppy ops. Like that Bucci dude, he's a sloppy op. He just running around here looking like a goddamn fool, right? But then you can have the other ones that are going to sit there and they're going to mimic our language. They're going to duplicate it to the T. They're going to sound more like us than some of us do because they study it. They get paid. They got a lot of, reasons to sound that good. So we're going to watch out for all of them, the black decoys, the counterfeits, the ops. They're going to come from every angle. But the first thing to watch for is how much they act like they're down. They're going to say, I'm down with y'all, got y'all back. And then they're going to say, well, what y'all doing next? Where y'all going? Where the money at? Because you see, that's the main reason they brought it up. So the pivot is going to drop. But as I always say, man, we're going to be right here, ready for them as soon as they pull up.
No doubt. And so, okay, so what I want to ask is, because I have an idea of a tactic or something like that that would be used that would, set my alarms off. And for me, it's the over asking of questions when you have a very clear message already established. Like, for instance, what is B1? What does black first mean? I could say black first, and then I can say, well, I thought black first just meant black American first.
Heard that before, huh?
Yeah, definitely remember hearing that.
Man, that ring a lot of bells, brother.
Yeah, can honestly say I remember hearing that one. And it doesn't make any sense because, see, that's the thing. It's like it's already established. Then, just even thinking about that situation, you actually have the person who coined the modern use of the phrase. And people are asking him, well, is this what you meant? This is what I meant. Well, I thought you meant that. Well, this is what it means. Well, I thought it meant that. That type of thing right there. Because you see it so much, it's like you can't really say that now, and I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt and say you're doing it on purpose because that many people can't be slow, right? At the same time together. That would be an amazing coincidence if that was the case, wouldn't it?
Man, too big of a coincidence to believe, man. Ops of a feather flock together, brother. You show me one op, you done show them all to me, man. They're going to have a lot of different means they're going to come at, but if you watch the core of them, you're going to see the same type of attitude, body language, mannerisms, just the way they function and the way they move. You know, and the beauty of it is we have the luxury in this era of understanding how they work. Look at Brother Malcolm. Look what happened to Brother Malcolm, Brother Martin, Brother Huey. You know what I'm saying? Our brother Fred Hampton. We have a history of ops, and you can take it back further than that, but that's just a few that I'll bring up today. We know what ops look like. We've seen them before. We know how they operate. They remix terms. I had a guy, it's funny you say that, brother. I had a guy today on my Twitter page, and he was like, what's FBA stand for? I've never seen that acronym before. So you know the BS when it come, man. You know the BS what it looked like. I'm like, dude, look around, homie. Put it this way, if you can find my tweet, then you know what FBA stands for because everybody else is saying it. So nice try, homeboy. Pack them bags, man, and take that op language off the block. So we got to treat it like people do in the neighborhood, man. You know, wherever you're from, no matter where you're at, when somebody comes around and you don't really know them and they look real fishy, you know, who brought this guy around? That type of energy. When you see them, you put your eyes on them and they don't really represent or they don't really relate to us and you can see some kinks in their armor, you got to treat them, you know, the same way we treat somebody who does that in the neighborhood. We got to get them out the paint, off the block, run them off the field. And as I always say on the Black Alpha Network, man, we got to put them on the corner like it's trash day.
Facts. So, and that, you know, my solution is the same. Now, what is it? This is my thing. Another thing that I also see, which I guess also goes with the language of opposition, is good cop, bad cop. Can you elaborate on an example that you have seen of the good cop, bad cop play out before your face?
Oh, brother, man. Oof. Everybody does good cop, bad cop. On my show yesterday, I talked about now you're starting to see good tether, bad tether. You understand what I'm saying? It's getting like beyond just the dominant society now. You have the tether, and I'm gonna bring it all the way back home. As we say down here in the South, man, I'm gonna take you on the ocean, but I'm gonna bring you to shore, brother. You know, I know. But
yes, sir.
You got tethers now, right? And a lot of tethers will say, come home, brother. And then the other ones will say, stay away, Akata. You understand what I'm saying? You got one that wants to sound endearing to us so he can get in on our money. And then you have the other who realizes that he'll never have our money. So he's just mad. He's just like, F that, Akata, stay away. And there's a conflict amongst both. That's the good cop and the bad cop. It's the same way with the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans just say F reparations, F y'all. The Democrats come around and say, you know, vote for us, I got your back. It's the same thing. And I'll go as far to say that every single community has good cop, bad cop, overt, covert when it comes to dealing with us. Because that's what it is. You're going to have one person who's going to try to steal right in front of you. And then you're going to have the other person says, look that way. And then they try to steal. So we got to watch out for both of those. And they're completely activated and active, particularly in, you know, FBA on code season. And we are on code as ever. So we got to watch out for the good cop, bad cop. And the best way to do it, family, since people want solutions, is quit listening to something someone says and it sounds nice when you first hear it. Okay. Anybody who listens to me, I always say, we got to get over the whole, he made some points. How many times do you hear somebody make some points and they be like, yo, Candace Owens made some points. You know what I mean? Clyburn made some points, man. Fuck that. Okay. Make a whole, your whole career got to be points. I'm trying, I'm cursing. Man. Let me slow down.
It's all good. It's all good.
Man. I'm not on alphabet.
It's all good.
So my apologies.
It's all good.
All right. So So we got to be careful of the he made some points, man. I don't need no points. I need facts, and I need a whole list of facts. When I deal with you, my brothers, because I've known you for quite some time, I followed you for a long time. You make a long list of points. I see my brother Torian. I've been following my brother Torian for a long time. He makes facts a long time. My brother Afro, Kid Gravity, brothers and sisters in the chat, our sister Miriam, make a lot of points consistently, and facts are laid out, not just somebody who says one thing you agree with and then you let them in the house. There ain't no cookout. You ain't getting a plate. You can't come in, and anybody who brought you, you can escort yourself that away. So that's how I feel about the good cop, bad cop, brother. I took you out in the ocean, and now consider yourself back.
No doubt. And here's something that something that did come up in our space yesterday, and it comes up a lot in these conversations, of course. And I'm glad, like I said, as it kind of came out in our space last week, the whole Friedman line, and this is, everybody could look at it and say, okay, well, we already have this designation, right? But what I was looking at yesterday, just on the surface for my own observation, is, and what I've been seeing is when you start taking identity to a kind of fanatical or radical mind state. So like you almost start gangifying things. You feel what I'm saying, brother? You say this often, like, people are radicalized or they're like treating it like these are gangs or whatnot. And truth be told, these are just designations. But how do you see that manipulation? Because that's how I look at it. It's like, well, where's that coming from?
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a good question, brother. It starts, passion is one thing, okay? But like my brother Afro always say, you can be passionate all day long, but you better be accurate. You better be right. And a lot of people, they use their passion as an excuse to say things that are just radical. You know what I'm saying? I'm passionate about a lot of things, but I make sure my passion matches my accuracy when I speak, because passion without accuracy takes you nowhere. You get nothing. And we're not trying to get nothing. We're trying to get a whole lot. So in terms of Friedman, man, a lot of people, I understand that there's passion and you're related to it and you feel it. But when you get to the point where it's some gang type stuff, where you call it let me say this. There's no the Friedman and there's no the FBA. Anytime I hear somebody say the FBA, like when Luke be out there and he be like, man, y'all be the FBA and all that shit, when he's fumbling and bumbling all over the place, man, ain't no the. When you start putting the in front of Friedman and the in front of FBA, you sound like an outsider. Whether you're an outsider from the inside who's acting that way, or you're an outsider from the outside who's generally that way. So we got to stop with getting to the point where it becomes gang warfare, man. Ain't nobody trying to go to war over this, man. The only thing we're trying to do is build, create some Black empowerment, some foundational Black American empowerment, and keep it that way. So yeah, I see that a lot coming from that side. And I think what that does is it opens the door for people to be radical. And once you got radical basically means anything can go on. No holds bar, right?
Right.
And what happens in that situation with no holds bar? People start walking in and they start hijacking and sabotaging your movement. So you got to keep the passion at bay, and you got to be intelligent. Because once you get too passionate and you get radicalized and you start making it like some gang stuff, you're inviting outsiders in. And once those outsiders get in, they're not there for your welfare. They're not there for your well-being. They're not there to help you out or assist you in any shape, form, or fashion. They're there to sabotage, hijack, and steal your movement. And that's what's happening on that side, unfortunately. But over here on our side, man, we gatekeep to the thorough, because we're not just passionate, we're accurate. So that's where I stand on that, my brother.
Right on. And, I'm glad that, again, I'm glad that all of this kind of coming out, because it also exposes a lot of random conversations that now can make sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think another thing, or a solution of kind of scoping out the language of opposition, is number one, patience.
Good point.
And I see there's a lot of people that like really want folks to be hasty at times, and say, hey, why aren't you saying nothing? Why aren't you saying that? Not everything needs an immediate reaction. That's how I look at it. Because again, we're in one of the biggest movements of all time, as I see it. When we're talking about reparations and anti-Black justice, because these people have have carried out anti-blackness against us since the beginning of anybody setting foot on this land. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to look at why anybody would want to help that if they have enjoyed all of these years of us as being in the dark, just tunnel vision. Let's vote Democrat and get nothing. If the Lord wanted us to have some money, we would have been white. I mean, we are not in that type of thinking no more. This ain't the Florida Evans generation. And so I look at everything, and I believe everybody should be able to look at the, as we say, big picture when these type of events or movements occur, because we have a history, just like we're looking at, Brother Malcolm X's family, talking about how he was plotted against them folks. And then they sent some black people to jail for it. See how that works? So again, having all that manipulation, when I start seeing the same type of arguments popping up often, that type of stuff is a distraction. Now, that also leads into my other point, disruptive agendas. And more or less, let's start. One of the disruptive agendas is outside agendas. So an agenda that has nothing to do with foundational Black Americans or our cause, especially reparations. So starting there, brother, what are some of the outside agendas that you see trying to get in on the reparations conversation?
Oh, man. Okay. It's funny you say that, brother, because just yesterday in the space, do you remember that person that came in and somebody pointed him out? It was like PP King or something like that. You remember that, right? And immediately they started talking some liberal stuff. Immediately. Yep. And we was like, yo, where are you from? They was like, LA. Okay, where your people from? Georgia. What part? When the pause come, brother, anybody I know who's FBA, you say where I'm from, they're gonna give you the town, the county, the state. They're gonna break it with pride too, right? We're gonna be like, yo, this from my mama and my auntie, my cousin.
Right.
Rose up like a deer in headlights. So you knew he was lying.
Hey, we had to hit him like this.
Where's your family from?
Here we go. I love that clip. That's like the most famous. That clip gonna go down in history, brother. That right there, where's your family from, has regulated about 1 million tethers off-coded people in just a few matter of months, man. So there's power in that term, and they know it. So yeah, brother, we gotta watch that right there, and it's always going to come in that type of fashion. So that guy immediately started talking some liberal, some democratic stuff. Yes, I'm not going to say exactly what he's talking about. People can listen to the space, or those who are in the space heard it. But it was straight out of the liberal playbook. So that's the first thing I see, because the liberals operate as if Black people are their property. So they've always used us as a mechanism to get across their liberal policies. And to be honest with you, that's why most off-coded Black people who live on the Democratic plantation, all they do is regurgitate liberal lines. The liberals give them their thoughts and put a nice little ribbon on it and send them out in the world. Then they come after us. Unfortunately for them, this is the first generation that has said, no, we're not accepting any old liberal line. Right. So I tend to watch for the all lives matter. That stuff right there, the let's focus on this group, let's focus on that group. Don't care about yourself, uplift everybody. These are your fake friends and your fake allies. Whenever you hear an outside agenda being inserted into Black society, typically it's from the Democratic Party, the liberal mentality, the liberal mind state, and it does never serve us any good purpose. It's only there for us to go down, and it's only there for us to give someone else an assist that, quite frankly, never deserves it. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for the liberal one. The liberal one's the main one, because when you say liberal, you basically mean every other race, group, orientation out there, and that's their means of stealing what we have. So that's the one we got to watch out for, and we've been doing a damn good job at it too.
Absolutely. And it just makes me think, you remember back when Trump was in office, and see, one of the main things that they were using, and we probably should have peeped it a little more aggressively then, because again, remember, we knew that Muslim was synonymous with Black. However, you had all the Arabs that were catching all the Muslim hell.
Yep.
And so they're over there crying and complaining. It's like, well, if you're an Iranian, then you're classified as white.
Mm. Mm.
And so just as when you saw them hopping up down there at the reparations, what was that conference down there in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
When they were out there, hey, we're minorities too. No. I watched the convenient jumping over the color line all of a sudden. And see, I'm also starting to recognize that as well. There was something that they just passed in Seattle about getting rid of a caste system or something like that.
Wow.
And it's all within the Indian culture. Now, so what I'm saying is they passed a law that really is only pertinent in the Indian culture.
Mm. Mm.
So they banned caste systems because I guess they're within their culture, they still very much hold on to their caste system.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, but they bring it here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So then you had to go to the local government for them to actually make a law to outlaw it.
Pathetic.
But that tells you a lot. Like, okay, well, if you guys can get that, okay. Personal side note: what, like, are they having to go through all the extras to get all of these things passed, or are they just coming straight forward as a unified, unit? And I see a unified unit now, but that's a hell of an outside agenda because that's a whole culture's system that has nothing to do with America.
Nothing.
But they actually got it into law.
Hmm.
See, that's when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's very interesting because I've never seen anything like that before. I've never heard of another country's culture system. Number one, you're telling me that you have been honoring it the whole time? So they can discriminate within their culture and it's just all good.
Mm-hmm.
But that says a lot. So now it's like, okay, well, all of this has been going on. So it's just, when they tell us what we can't do and all the things, wait a minute. So it just makes me think is when we identify ourselves as foundational Black Americans, owning our identity, isn't that basically how they're doing what they're doing? Do you understand what I mean, brother?
Oh, absolutely, brother. It's like everybody else can openly be like, my ethnicity, my culture, my lineage means everything. I mean, look up there in New York right now, brother, when you got all of those little tethers or whatever you want to call them immigrants, and you see what the mayor's out there doing, right? He's out there giving them Xboxes and PlayStations and hanging out with them, and he's treating them like they're, American citizens. Actually, he's uplifting them above American citizens. And they're actually getting cuisines made that are common to their homeland. Now, they want to call me racist because I asked for a goddamn bowl of fried fucking chicken and I want some collard greens, and they want to say that we wrong for asking for that. You know what I'm saying? So you're right, brother. It's like our ethnicity is bad and everyone else's ethnicity is good. That's the way it works. It's the formal and the informal. And the reason why they do that, brother, and you know this like I know it, the reason why they do that is because we have strength in our ethnicity and they don't. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come over here and do their little cultures, but they're going to fall in line with the dominant society when the dominant society say so. We are going to represent our lineage, and we're going to say, F all y'all, we're going to continue to do what we want to do, how we want to do it. And that creates a difference, that creates a separation, and that's why they want to stop our stuff from happening. But I have been seeing that, brother, all across the country. I mean, look, every city in America has a somebody day. Like this culture got their own day. They parade down the street. Man, let us have that. Let us have that in 2 seconds. Why can't anybody else come in? And you're gonna have W women there, you're gonna have Hispanics there, and it's gonna get co-opted. So I mean, look at Black History Month, brother. They trying to turn this into Tether History Month. It's all Black. So yeah, man, they don't want our ethnicity being represented while they cater to everyone else's.
Right. Now, and what's funny, the other outside agenda, of course, being the rainbow community as well. Because again, they have also taken on February too. This is also trans something month? Forgive me if I don't know it, but there's something of the rainbow community, the Skittles community that Also is being celebrated in the month of February. Go figure. Like it's not a slap in the face to us.
Right.
Of course, and they know it is. And see, that's another agenda. Look at the San Francisco situation. When they went to have their reparations conversation for the San Francisco area, they're talking about also incorporating reparations for trans. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. Trans reparations. And so that is another example of an outside agenda.
Big one.
Now think about that though. As we have been in these spaces, have we seen certain people try to center their sexual agenda into the reparations conversation?
Oh, brother, I actually, man, I can't remember the episode, man. About 2 episodes ago, I had put up some clips about them literally having reparations task force for them. They have their own reparations task force. They have books being made. First off, when we start talking reparations, now everybody won't talk reparations. When we start talking about cash payments, now everybody talk cash payments. But yes, they literally have task force that they're petitioning the government for and being subsidized for, so they can get reparations for that particular community. So yeah, brother, they trying to center that right there. And they wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans taking the term reparations, dusting it off, polishing it up, and putting it back into the world. So we're responsible for the conversation, and then everybody else is trying to hijack the conversation.
Facts. And so with also, brother, there's something else that's going on here. Now remember, we also understand the Poor People's Campaign from Dr. Martin Luther King, in which we all pretty much suspect that's why they took him out. Of course, because we're going to have to get down to going to Washington to get our check. That type of conversation is definitely, I believe, what got him up out the paint. But with these outside agendas, think about who was there with him too. Bayard Rustin. They just celebrated him today, I believe. And he's a whole snitch. He's a whole CIA operative and FBI. He was working for both them folks. Toria Ray Reloaded, right on for the super chat, brother. Thank you so much. And he says, let's see, the reason that is because the academy is not conducive to just Black people in that community. So we know that it's possible for them to get the ball rolling.
Big facts.
Stupid. Oh, get the ball rolling. A play on words there, brother. Whew. With the academy, all right. Right on. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, brother Toya Rand Reloaded. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Majority of LGBT folks are white. So I can't say that. No, you definitely can't put that all on them. Now, I will say, that Greek Roman culture thing has definitely been passed down through generations. But nonetheless, like I was saying, the outside agenda, which comes from, so I'm glad that you actually mentioned that, because if you say, it's coming from outside groups, look at what Bayard Rustin was known for. What he got caught up for was being with them young white dudes. Sexual access. Now, that outside agenda comes in many forms, and it is always cloaked in something else. But what are some of the ways that, because, when you start peeling back the layers, you start getting down to it being about sexual access, because Bayard Rustin, the same dude that had Martin Luther King getting rid of his detail, his armed security, all of that, that's Bayard Rustin's doing, and let's go peaceful. That's him. And they give him the biggest credit for John Lewis getting his ass whooped in Selma, because he's the one, or the march in Washington as well.
That name triggers me, brother.
Man, I'm telling you. And so, yeah, What are some of the things that you have seen?
You know, our master teacher, Neely Fuller Jr., always talks about how they control all elements, right? And, you know, they inflict war on all elements. And that is one of the main ones, sexual access, you know, because they understand that you're going to always have a lot of off-coded people in our community that always want access to them. You know, I always tell people one of the major parts of the civil rights era was white women in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? They wanted white women in Walmart. Let me tell you something. Two people can be at the same march for two different reasons. All right. So you had one brother that was there and he was genuinely, sincerely marching for justice. You had another brother there and he was marching so he can get some access to Karen and Becky. And we still see them fuckers running around here today. You know what I'm saying? So they always try to, you know, put that front and center because a lot of folks are going to go coon for it and they're going to, you know, try to push that line. The movie Buck Broken that our brother Tariq made broke that down as well. So you can always see that agenda and that war is always inflicted on us. And it's one that can be done loud and it's one that can be done quietly. So you got to be able to, as we say, brother, see the forest through the trees and, you know, use your mind to watch what happens and understand who has the weaknesses. And then you can always see it. I mean, how many times you turn on TV and you see a bunch of, you know, black folks locking arms and marching down the street with particular individuals and they're not pushing an agenda for us. You know, let's be real. Like Black Lives Matter, that has black on it, but the colors I seen were not black. They was a rainbow of colors. So that shows you right there front and center the type of agenda that they try to inflict upon us by using other people's agendas, particularly that group right there.
You know, when you said that, it also made me think of another encounter that we had in our Twitter spaces as well, with another individual who has hung around the reparations conversation very heavy, by the way. You know, and of that academy, as Brother Torian Rain Reloaded says, you know, but has a very interesting self-hatred complex. So, you know, has went through the trouble to bleach and change their entire appearance and hair and whatnot. But all of a sudden, when you started talking about reparations, now they're coming around to hang out. However, they always tell you about their affinity for European men. When you start seeing that, and then some of the kind of off-putting things that I've heard out of their own person was disturbing, nonetheless, to say how much you want to submit to that. But yet, and still, you're coming over here into the reparations conversation to necessarily do what? You understand what I'm saying, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Because we've seen that. We have to ask the question, well, what are you doing here?
Man, a lot of people would be surprised at some of these different groups that show up in our spaces. I mean, brother, is it fair to say, tell me if I'm wrong, family, is it fair to say that pretty much every single agenda and outside group has showed up in our spaces trying to deflate or dilute the energy?
Except for white women.
Except for they know, you know what?
The white women have taken a pass.
I'm gonna tell you though, family, I had one in the chat, straight up, and it was like, yo, I want to come in y'all space, but y'all say it's black only. So I guess that no trespasser sign worked on that one right there, brother. Seeing that no trespasser sign, she's like, okay.
And I don't think we've really said no white people can come up. Matter of fact, there's been some spaces that we've held that we actually encouraged it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a Karen little victim mode kind of stuff. Like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that's the you guys need to me type shit. You feel me? And good thing she didn't come up because when you come around us, man, you dealing with some wolves. And we ain't here to be nice. We here to be real. You know what I'm saying? So there's been everybody with every agenda. I've heard every fucking accent. Man, I done heard accents before, brother. I ain't even know motherfucking existed. Right. These motherfuckers be having hybrid accents, man. I'll be like, where in the hell you from? You from some small island in the Indian Ocean. And I don't know how the hell you done found our Twitter space, but you done found it and called in. And the only thing that I know that they can barely speak English. But the only thing that I know is that they always are anti-reparations, and they know that English very well. Can't put together a sentence if you gave it to them. But they know how to run interference, and they know how to deflect off of our reparations claim. So that just shows you the power in the movement, and that shows you the power in the lineage, the very fact that people can call in from every damn ocean, every damn island, every damn hemisphere, and still run the same type of game, but they all get the same type of treatment, and that's that way, kicked right outside the building.
Facts. Now, let me ask you, in terms of disruption, what are some of the, I guess, some of the things that you have seen, say, over the last, from 2020 to now? What are some of the things that you have seen that have became disruptive?
All right. But I'm gonna bring up one that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's something that plagued our community from back in the day. And there's so much opposition that comes our way, and there's, trust me, a million different things that I can answer that with, but I'm gonna try to be exclusive and answer it with something a little different. And one of the tactics that I have seen is, and something we've all known about for years, is divide and conquer. That's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people trying to put rifts in between a lot of people. You remember last year when they was trying to do that with our brother Jason and Tariq? We all know who was trying to pull that nonsense, right? Salute to our brothers because they didn't go for that. And I've seen that a lot. We've all pretty much had somebody in our DMs pull up to the space. You know, so-and-so saying this about you. You know, so-and-so did this over here. There's a lot of that type of energy. Hell, in our space yesterday, there were some people saying, well, y'all said this and he said this. That was not what was said. That's not what we spoke of. So I believe that we are very, very knowledgeable about a lot of the tactics that they use, but the divide and conquer is one I definitely want the family to focus on because of the historical nature and how that's plagued our people from back in the day. If you look at the Black Panther Party, they were completely divided and conquered. They turned pretty much all of them on each other. You know, like I know, that they were writing letters from Eldridge Cleaver to Huey Newton and Huey Newton to Eldridge Cleaver that they didn't even write. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of these people who pop up and then they be trying to put that little bug in your ear, those are people who understand that we are moving as a unit. And anytime you move as a unit and you move as a collective, they're going to always send in the divide and conquer. And like I always say, we, in this era today, we have the luxury of knowing the past so we don't have to make those mistakes. And eventually in the future, somebody's going to know our present and they won't make our mistakes. And that's how you learn and that's how you grow. But the divide and conquer is definitely a tactic that opposition loves to use upon us. And at the same time, they understand that we're strong by ourselves, but we're stronger together. So that's why on every episode, I always say, my brothers, sisters, kings, queens, the goddess and the gods. So everybody understands, man, you cannot break that up. So we stand strong by ourselves, but man, when we click up, man, we even stronger. And that's what, prevents the divide and conquer tactic. So that's what I want the family to focus on, is always watch for the person who's trying to separate you from your brother or sister, because that's what they want us to do, and it won't work. So we're going to continue to push that line. And that's why we say not power to the individual, we say power to the people.
Facts. And I would say to kind of spin off of that, divide and conquer. The different ways of crafty tactics of creating division. One of the things that I have seen is people making wild accusations or purposely missing a very clear point. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, prime example. We say foundational Black American, right? We're going to say this is a name, and we're going to use this name or title for the lineage, right? Well, people stop at foundational Black. Oh, well, it's race. We just identified that we're talking about lineage. That type of thing is something else I'm noticing, because the little small quirks in conversation that people are using to make it almost like a roadblock or a stick in the spokes. So we're almost on the same page, but this, that, or the other. For me, I'm seeing the little spin because those little spins are where I keep seeing the reoccurring arguments happening. Because I just listened to a conversation yesterday of Brother Afro Elite breaking down a scenario or a situation or what he has already read. Then we also have Brother JoJo literally read the literal paperwork. Somehow we get to, well, black, that's race, and that's race, but this isn't race. And this is like, well, wait. See, I'm noticing when people are purposely skipping over things. And that's what I'm noticing in these conversations. While Brother Afro Elite made his argument very clear and plain. And he's saying very clearly where the black and white of the issue is. And then watching somebody purposely, because I can't say that that's an accident. When I'm watching so many people do the exact same thing right at the same moment, that raises my antenna. So, like when you say divide and conquer, I see it also in the means of little subtleties that people throw in conversation. You feel what I'm saying, brother?
Oh, brother, nailed it, family. That's absolutely 100%. Let me say this, brother. I know you agree with me, and brothers and sisters in the chat agree. Our brother Afro, he laid out the terminology so clear that if he was at the UN, they would have gave him a standing ovation. Okay, they would have applauded him. That's how clear it was. Okay, a deaf person could hear it. All right, it was very, very crystal clear. So if he could say something so clear that the UN would give him an applaud, how the hell you can't get it on the Twitter space? Other than your ass is an op and you don't want to hear what he has to say. And remember, playing stupid is the number one tactic of a scoundrel. Okay, anytime you're dealing with somebody who is a scoundrel, they're going to always pull the what, when, where, why, what is. We not sure what, where is. That type of game. And that's what they do. Basically, you can lay it out clear. So that's why I always say, hey, brother, give somebody 2 seconds. Within 2 seconds, you're going to see whether they get it or not, whether they acting like they don't get it. And take your message to somebody who understands. I'm going to be real brief with the story, family. I always used to get a number that used to call me, right? Crazy number. Used to call me all the time, right? Just, I'm going to give y'all a Black Alpha exclusive, man. Check this shit out. Y'all know, man, I'm out there. So this lady would call me a lot. I would get like funny numbers. Like you ever have somebody keeps calling you, oh, John there, man, I don't know them. Okay, John, bye, click. Right. So I think I was getting mixed numbers from somebody, whatever. One day the phone answer is an elderly Black woman, right? From a couple counties up. I'm like, yo, who is this? All right. This keeps happening. All right, who is this? And she was like, oh man, I thought you was my nephew or somebody or my great grandson or something. I don't know, right? So I start talking to her and I'm like, okay, you from around here? She's like, yeah, I'm from down here, this country. I'm like 70 years old or something. So she starts telling me about the time frame when she lived and some of the things they were doing. Trust me, it's in the deep South, brother. So it was important, right? Terrible story to tell me about. But we sat there and I ended up talking to this lady, brother, for over an hour. Okay. And she was giving me some messages and she said, listen, for all the young people out there, don't make the mistakes we made. She said, talk to people, give them 2 seconds. If they absorb your message, good, roll with them, keep them coming. If they do that, we don't know yet and we can't figure it out. She said, cut their ass off and keep on trucking. Never allow one passenger to stop the bus. And I was, damn, yeah, brother. I was like, after that, I was like, yes, ma'am. I understand. Thank you very much. It's grandma. You feel me? And that always me. I never ever talked to that lady ever again in my life, brother. But she said it best, man. Never let one passenger stop your bus, man. So therefore, when we do speak to these people and they act like they don't know what we're getting at, you'll know within 2 seconds, man, because we smart. We know who about that BS. And as soon as you realize it, take the message to somebody else who will get it. And next thing you know, man, you end up getting more people on the team that actually wants to be there. So that's where, I would say the solution comes to the problem of people who play dumb.
For real. And that's that's definitely why we're having these, this conversation is kind of going over the different aspects that you might see, especially when we're moving into a space where you're going to have so much interaction. There's more media. There's going to be more Twitter spaces. There's Clubhouse and whoever else knows, fan base, Discord, wherever you at. So there's gonna be people to purposely confuse conversations in every mix. So we're just trying to let you know what type of signs and things to look for, understand the language of the opposition. And then you also are understanding some of the strategies of their disruptive agendas. Speaking of disruptive agendas, one of the things, going back to Dr. Martin Luther King, he was against the war. Now, one of the things some people suggest that maybe the war was incentivized for America to get more involved in the Vietnam War is because black folks was talking about reparations. And here we are, once again, talking about reparations. And within a 2-year presidency term, we are already in a conflict for over a year now. Now, so do you see any parallels there? I mean, the parallels just are jumping out. They're right off the top. But what do you think about some of these black folks now that will still say, vote blue no matter who?
Oh, man, they on the plantation and they lost and they never going to be found. You know what I'm saying? Those folks will never be found ever. And anybody who's still in this day and age living on the Democratic plantation is a lost cause. You know what I mean? We have to see them as a full-blown 100% op. You dig? So, yeah, they're going to always be on that plantation. And, yes, there's absolute parallels, brother. Absolute parallels because, as we move, everything moves. I'll tell people like this, family. You want to know how strong our foundational Black American lineage is? It's so strong that we can change the United States government. And if you can change the United States government, that means you are the strongest because the United States government is the strongest government on the planet. Let me tell you this, brother. FBA, all of us, we actually affect the United States government more than any country on the planet. You look over there in Russia and the Ukraine, it's business as usual, brother. Over there in the Middle East, it's business as usual. All throughout Asia, Europe, is business as usual. The government is not changing the way these people act, but we're changing the way the government acts. So that shows you there is power with us, absolute power. And that's why I always say peace, power, and deliver power to the people, because we are moving it in the proper fashion. And those parallels happen, and they'll do anything, say anything to try to derail us, because they understand that as we go, the whole world goes, man. With great Black power comes great responsibility, and we have all the responsibility because we have all of the Black power.
Very well said, my brother. Now, moving on to the next kind of talking point about disruptive agendas. We got to talk about our homegrown problem.
Oh, man, let's get them. Let's go. Let's do it.
Now, with the homegrown problem, I will not call out any specific person or group, but we do have to talk about some of these folks that are tied to these organizations, tied to some of these churches, or maybe just tied to being in a certain frame of mind that, like this dude right here. Shout out Red Joker. Because, see, what I'm finna play you real quick here, brother. Check it out. It's
got to watch these old niggas.
Oh, man.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so. Not at all. The other thing that I want to address is this fallacy of reparations in Evanston. Well, the citizens of Evanston says it's not reparations. At what point in time does a housing voucher become reparations? That's an insult. That's disgusting. How do you think?
Come on, brother.
at their faces, brother.
That's reparations. Illegal immigrants are getting reparations to the 10th degree. If that's what you call reparations, as soon as they step across the border, they get housing, they get education, they get health care, they get this, they get that, they get the other. And our people are living under freaking bridges. How is that reparations? We built this freaking country. That's not reparations. That's a brick.
Hey, now look at their face, brother. Look at their face. See, this is one of the biggest obstacles we have in our community. This right here, the old garb of, I don't know, whatever the hell you would call them. Did I freeze? Look like I froze. Okay, hopefully I didn't. Okay, am I back?
Yeah, I see you good, brother.
But look at their face. Okay, man, they look like they swallowed a whole sack of lemons, man. I mean, the looks on their face is priceless. What you so upset about? Because this is about everybody in here, you know, they're talking about lineage-based reparations. Look at how upset they are.
He outlined all of the different organizations he's got out there overseeing the project. Well, it costs money to oversee those projects. Some freaking grift. The third thing I want to address is Africa owes us reparations as well.
Look at their face.
After we get our reparations from the United States of America, we're turning our focus on the continent of Africa itself. In 1998, a delegation of African nations attempted to sue the United States, Canada, England, and I think Belgium for reparations for us being enslaved. You know what they told them?
So did.
We ain't give you nothing because it was a business deal. You just didn't do the right thing with what you got. You didn't do what you were supposed to do with what you got. It was a business arrangement. They sold bottle caps, umbrellas, mirrors, and things of that nature. For an umbrella, you could get 4.
So with that being said, brother, let's address the old Negroes and the Pan-Africanists. Because what you are seeing right there is the gateway to Pan-Africanism. And something else that I've noticed, there was a Black Wall Street page that tried to show Joe Biden talking about Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe Biden. Okay, first off, that's off. Anyway, what they saying is, the next time they say it, play this. He didn't do anything for black folks. Play this for him. They are literally playing him talking about South Africa.
Oh my God.
And it's like, yo. Now, so that's why I played the other video with him talking about his crime bills that he's so proud of and how we need to be off the street. So, yeah, that's what his feeling is for Black Americans. But yeah, brother, these old Negroes are tied and married to that system. What do you have to say about that?
Man, cooning is a hell of a drug. Cooning is a hell of a drug, man. They're going to be on that coon crack forever, and it ain't ever going to go away. That's what it is. And you know, it's funny, brother, that look that they had on their face, it reminds me of when Joe Biden told everybody to hell with y'all on that Zoom chat. And they all had that same look on their face where they don't want to see it. They don't want to address it. Reality stings and they cannot stand it. That's exactly the same type of energy, man. It's that off-coded, old. Listen, man, it's one thing to be off-code. It's another thing to be old and off-code. You know what I'm saying? That bus ain't making no U-turn. They not coming over here. They're going to stay on that side forever. And that type of energy is the exact reason why we got to do what we got to do. I was just having a conversation today with Queen Alpha, and we was talking about how, we deal with a lot of stuff as a community, and a lot of things are complicated, and we got to really work hard and grind to actually get to answers. But I said that is because we are having to take up the responsibility of doing things that other people should have did 60 effing years ago. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why you got young brothers and sisters in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s having to do what folks in their 80s and their 70s could have did way back in the day. That's wrong. That's wrong. And the reason why we run into so many, speed stops and speed bumps and we have so much conflict and turmoil is because we're not even supposed to be having to do this right now. We're going to struggle because life is the struggle. You know what I mean? And live is the struggle. Right. Life's complicated, only what you make it to be. We understand that. But it shouldn't be this difficult to where we're cleaning up something that the previous generations not only didn't do, they thought was perfectly okay and fine. You understand what I'm saying? So that type of energy has to be removed from the community, point blank, period. And it goes back to that one passenger rule that we live by, is that they've been not only stopping the bus, they've been driving the bus in the wrong direction. So once we remove them off the bus and then we're the ones in the driver's seat, things get done and things get changed. And I don't feel sorry for them because you got a lot of old folks who are on code. So if you got old folks who are on code, how the hell do you got these other folks?
Now take a look on your screen.
Oh my goodness.
This is another
off code, hella off code, hella off code, hella off code.
Now, this is another issue that we have in our community. These people here, they are representing something that does not benefit the Black community overall. It helps them personally, but it does not benefit us at all. So then we'll get people out here that'll start doing stuff like this. You see that, man?
That what? I'm like completely blinded by that one.
They doing stuff like that out here. And yeah, brother. Yeah.
Yo, brother, I don't know if you can, brother, but if you are capable of doing it, if you can go to my Twitter and please play that Percy Earl old dude. Did you see it's in my tweets where he's trying to fight his whoever about Obama. I don't know if you got it, brother, but I'm sure people get a good laugh out of that.
Let me see if I can get that.
That's that I'm married to the Democrat energy right there, bro.
Oh man, I did see that. Let me get that. Let me bring that up. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Let me because you know what? I've still yet to actually listen to it because I've seen it. And as soon as I saw what y'all was saying, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of know where he going with it. Don't you be talking about Obama. Oh,
brother,
Obama, Jesus.
It's horrible, family. Hey, it's 100 times worse than even expected.
Really?
Oh, brother. Damn. Man, this dude.
That's not good.
He's going to fight about Obama, brother.
Okay, let me go to your page real quick. All right. Joint moving slow right now, of course. Maybe it's because I'm broadcasting, but I ain't on Wi-Fi. Let's see where you at here. Yo, the thumbnail of the dude with the biscuits is hilarious. Let me see. Where is this at? Wait, what happened? Hold on. Scrolling down, y'all. I'm waiting for you. The rest of your okay, there it is. Like it wasn't loading. There we go. Percy Earl. Let's check out this Percy Earl joint here.
Man, brother.
Let me get this on the screen.
That's it.
Okay. Okay, did I freeze again? Okay, there we go.
When Barack Obama sent us to war.
Bitch, ain't no Barack Obama sent you no vote. Stop saying he did not. You see,
That dude upset, ain't he? Wait a minute. Hold on now.
When Barack Obama sent us to war.
Bitch, ain't no Barack Obama sent you no vote. Stop saying he did not. You see how stupid you is? Ain't no goddamn Barack Obama sent you, motherfucker. No goddamn. He didn't, motherfucker.
Shit, who told you that?
Motherfucker, Bush started that war. I'm looking at you cold now. Stop being stupid. I don't care. What did I say, motherfucker?
When Barack Obama sent us to war.
What?
Bitch, ain't no Barack Obama sent you no war. What did I say, motherfucker? Yeah. What did you
But Donald Trump, but look, Donald Trump, they sent us to war.
The hell he ain't. He doing it right now.
Did you shout?
Look, let me. What did I say, motherfucker? The hell he ain't. He doing it right now.
Did you shout?
Look, let me tell you.
Cause he sent the troops over there, but he ain't sent.
Look, man.
But they ain't fighting. Ain't nobody getting
Stop
killed.
arguing with me, motherfucker. Don't you do that.
I'm just saying what TV said.
That TV is a lying motherfucker, bitch. What did I tell you? The hell he ain't. He doing it right. Obama was not crooked. Don't you never let nothing like that come through your mouth. Don't you do that. Okay? Obama was perfect for you. Obama was not crooked. Don't you never let nothing like that come through your mouth. Don't you do.
Oh, bro. Oh. Oh, that man was hurt. Percy Earl was upset. Don't you dare. Boy, he ready to fight over that old man. See, now, and that's why, I wanted to save the old Negroes and Pan-Africanists till last. Because, again, that thing right there, like, what can we do with that? You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's a lot of folks out here saying, like, well, hey, what are we gonna do about the family that still ain't really hip or ain't listening?
We're gonna keep it moving.
I mean, what can you do? Because if you got somebody that's still thinking like that, they ain't changing their mind no time soon, family. No. Their mind will be changed when they throwing dirt on their casket. No, because that dude is fighting mad over Obama.
Hey, is he changing his love for? Is he changing his love for Obama anytime soon?
No.
Wow.
See, what they did is they exchanged the old as the old picture of white Jesus was running out of steam. They got Barack Obama, so they just pretty much just transferred personas over to Obama, and that's the real true evidence of how a lot of people, especially the old Negroes, are thinking. And you can't do nothing with that. But here's the problem. How many more votes for president does this old boy have in him? How many he got left, family? Like, so, see, that's what they dreading, because, see, it's our children that is going to be the next wave of 40 years of votes. This is, you're seeing, it is what it is, family. Ain't nobody getting any younger. How many more presidential cycles does he have? So what's going on when we're talking about reparations? Pretty soon, we ain't gonna be talking about old Negroes. Because we'll be the ones still talking about reparations. So it's gonna be a new wave of old folks.
Now, I would say this, family. If the community don't get you, nature will. Sometimes you You said earlier today, patience, right?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you just got to wait them out, man. Sometimes you just got to wait them out, and there's going to be a new one born every day, and there's going to be an old one that's gone every day. And
Big
that is
facts.
how it is. You feel me? And one thing we know is that those older folks, they're not receptive to any type of criticism. Like it's just, and you see right there, that dude was literally about to probably fight a family member. I don't know if that's his grandkid or his son or whatever. He was about to fight him over Barack Obama. You understand what I'm saying? That conversation.
he was getting that Brock Hogan energy on him, wasn't he?
Need that goddamn Claritin Plus. You know what I'm saying? So that Claritin Plus, you know, that kicked in big time, brother. That boy. Hey, you know what, brother? The thing is, that was not supposed to happen. I'm gonna tell you why that wasn't supposed to happen, brother. Because Barack Obama was supposed to hypnotize one generation, the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. Barack Obama was somebody who was supposed to rock black people to sleep for at least 100 years.
Exactly.
They did not expect that to last for what? 10 years? 10? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. You got to think. He did 2 terms. And by the time he was getting out of office, people was like, hey, man, because I remember for there was a lot of us, you know, for all intents and purposes, the early days of the new black media kind of grassroots moving along, we were steadily pushing and tweeting out for and I mean banging on these damn politicians for Barack Obama to do something for black folks before he got out of office, because this is the end of his term. And, you know, I remember somebody that I know that is a Boule affiliate. I'll put it lightly like that. You know, they're, hey, what do you want him to do? I mean, because if he signed reparations, then, you know, then Trump is just going to come over here and throw it out. It's like, look, the fact is he did it. And so then it would be a precedent of it happening. And so, okay, let's go get that. Now, just think about that. That's a black person asking, what do we want Barack Obama to do on his last days in office?
As the president of the United States, not as the city councilman or a senator, as the actual president.
Brother, like how would you not now say, hey, now's the time to pull the trigger because you're not getting anything after this? I mean, because you knew Trump was coming. So why would you not? Trump already won. So why on earth would Barack Obama not set up the black community? You understand what I'm saying? Why would he not do nothing for the black community? But you got Negroes like that believe he did.
Yeah. And they hate facts too, brother. And they hate them.
Facts.
You remember the whole play? Remember it first? A lot of people don't remember this. Remember it was wait until he gets into office. And then it turned into wait until his second term. Remember that one? Wait until his second term, because the second term, he going to do all these things. Second term rolled around. Then it was, well, hell, he ain't do nothing. But Trump is always man.
Yes,
that Democratic coon crack, bro. That Democratic coon crack is something. They all addicted to it, and they never gonna not be addicted to it. And that's why we always say, man, the Boule/Democratic plantation is one of the biggest outside offense, you know, to the black community. And the more those people lose power, the better we're off. And that's why they're mad right now. That's why dude getting mad. He can't tap dance. The tap dancing is over. They know that we have combated them to the point where a lot of them can't even show their face around us no more. So it goes to show you that we're in a position today that we've never been in before, where the Democratic stranglehold on the community has, you know, lessened up. And now you're looking at their actual politics and their poll numbers. We did a whole show on midterm, and it wasn't so good for them. You know what I'm saying? So Democratic plantation is pretty much done, and I don't see the Democratic plantation lasting much longer. I believe that we're going to push the Democrats all the way to the ropes, where in the next 2 elections, 2024 and 2028, the Democrats are going to take more of an alt-right position, because they're going to see that the black vote isn't there anymore. So they're going to have to say, hey, let's start catering more to, hell, Joe Biden does it now. Joe Biden has more of a campaign where he caters more to the dominant society than he does to black people, because black people have rejected him wholeheartedly. So you're going to see a shift from the Democrats real soon, and it's all back to the black grassroots rejecting their nonsense. The plantation has been knocked to the ground, and all we're doing now is stepping on that mud. So it's all good.
Facts, big facts. So now looking at the Pan-Africanist side of the game, because we've seen some so-called Pan-Africanists, which, truth be told, we've always heard the Pan-Africanist line. But in all actuality, what is the Pan-Africanist agenda? Because all we hear is about Africa benefiting. I never hear what's in it for us. You feel what I'm saying, brother?
Oh, absolutely, brother. They have no agenda. There's none, because Pan-African only exists in their mind. You know what I'm saying? Pan-Africanism does not exist anywhere. There's nothing they can point to and say that's Pan-Africanism other than their own delusional head. Somebody asked me one time, I was on a space, and they said, what's the Pan-African agenda, as you said? And I said, it's just a figment of their imagination. Same with the Black and Brown Coalition. You know what I'm saying? There's always been this tendency for a group of us to always attach themselves to fantasy and live in the world that they wish it was, opposed to the world that it is. See, we operate in the world that it is. That's why we get that it is results. They don't. Right. So there is no agenda for Pan-Africanism. Dr. Umar or Kubar Vasquez, he runs around here and he talks about all that stuff, but he hasn't delivered anything that even fits what he professes and he purports. So he proclaims that he's down for the whole African unity, but that needle has never moved an inch because it's not possible to move an inch. So all they're doing is just howling at the moon, man, and it's not going anywhere. And if you look, people have actually lapped him and did circles around him because he's not on that level.
Facts. Absolute facts. So with just looking at all of these other entities that are out here that could serve as distractions that we have pretty much identified, and so in some instances have already packed up. With this identification situation, what do you say, anybody, if they're wondering what would be the importance of the way we identify? You understand what I'm saying? What would be your take on the importance of that? And I'm going to go ahead and let you have the floor, because I know you want to elaborate on this one, brother.
Man, absolutely, brother. I'm glad you asked me that. All right. So we've been leading this conversation now for a while now. A lot of us in the new black media, the black grassroots, shout out to my brother Afro Elite. We've been pushing this line very, very heavy because we've seen it coming. Anytime you're in a reparations movement and you're trying to push for reparations, classification, identification is going to be one of the main things that you're going to have to deal with. And this was coming. So we foreseen it. We, had a good forecast, and we understood that it was going to be definitely possible for us to get FBA or what we choose to be classified as. So I take this subject and this situation as one of the top 2 or 3 defining moments of this era. Okay. Self-identification and self-classification brings power. And we see that now. A phantomless or phantom faceless group goes nowhere. And that's why they always try to keep us as a phantom faceless group. Who are the African Americans? Who are the Negroes? What does this term mean? What does that term mean? People of color, minorities. It takes us nowhere. So we've been focused on getting classified as something that is definitive and it's, in relation to the community. So a lot of us have been pushing on the back channels to make this happen every single day, putting in real work so we can get something done, because whatever they classify you as is what they can do to control you. We were classified as African Americans, and look, we got a tether problem. We were classified as people of color, and now we have the people of color who are coming over here. We were classified as minorities, and now we have a minority problem. Think what I just said. We're classified as African Americans. We're classified as people of color. We're classified as minorities. And all three of those groups got smoke for us, and we have to deal with them right now. Hell, we're trying to get to the reparations, and those are the three opponents in which we have to face. But once we started saying foundational Black Americans, which is a term of the people, which I believe the people have related to and gravitated towards the most, once we started saying that, the opposition went away. You can't come in our spaces and say African American, it won't last. You can't come in our spaces saying as a person of color, it won't last. So classifications mean everything, identifications mean everything, and we got to be precise, we got to be concise, and we got to get it right. We cannot mess up. I can't sit here and talk about the past and the old Negroes, and the old Negroes left us a bad hand, and then we leave the next group a bad hand. That will be hypocritical of me. And I'm not into being a hypocrite. I'm being accurate, and I got to be true to it. So we got to be on it right now. And as I said, people don't even know, man. There's been so many back channel phone calls, back channel conversations. I spoke to Brother Tariq last night on his space about getting the classifications correct and counseling brothers and sisters who may not know how to get it done, who may not understand it, and walking them through and educating the people. It's all about educating the people. Once the people are educated, the people can get it done. Shout out, and you see it all works full circle. Shout out to our brother Malcolm X. Malcolm X was at that auditorium that night because he was educating the people. A lot of people told him not to go, but he went anyway because he understood educating the people and getting that correct meant more than everything, including his own safety. So this is what we have to do. We have to get to the point where we take this by the horns and we control it and not allow anybody to classify us or to name us, and make sure that we classify and we name ourselves. And we have the opportunity to do it right now if we all get on board. So if we all do a little, we all do a lot. We're strong by ourselves. We're stronger together. And I believe we got all of those lined up. So let's make it happen. Reach out to your brothers and sisters and let's get it done, because this is a defining moment. Because if you get classification, identification, you get reparations. And I don't know about anybody else, man, but I want all the money to come to us. Not a dollar, not a penny outside of our community, man. So we are at the boss's table. We are in the winner's circle. And I definitely know for a fact that we will get it done. And as Huey P. Newton says, man, power to all people.
Facts. And shout out Cyberdyne. Thank you for the super chat. You say, excellent broadcast, brothers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you so much. So, one of the things, that I've noticed over the course of the last few months of us doing spaces, what are some of the things that I guess you could take away from the interaction that we've had with the family? And I'll say for me, it's the feedback of when people are saying, "Hey, I got a hold of what y'all doing, and y'all, the energy that y'all are giving off is genuine. The information that you're giving is solid, and people really enjoy being in our spaces and being in the conversation, and they're learning as well as even adopting, I guess, a certain sense of pride that I have not seen in a long time coming out of a large group of Black folks. You feel what I'm saying, brother?
Oh, man, brother, this is my favorite question you asked, brother. This is my favorite question. It's been absolutely an honor, to have these spaces, man, and to talk to the people. I love when I see that request come on and our brothers and sisters come up to talk. And one of the things that you and I like to do is to let people just talk. And we've had spaces about everything. Remember we had that one space, brother, and it turned into like an economic banker space.
Man.
And
Yes,
brother,
sir.
I ain't even gonna lie. I was just listening. I was like,
Man.
I want to talk. This too much game. I pulled out the notepad, and I was astonished by how many intelligent brothers and sisters were in that space on this particular subject, and there was so much to learn, right? So I love that space that we had. The other space, the one we just had about the Memphis situation, where brothers and sisters could just vent. And remember, we came to the point that every single person in the space that was on the speakers panel, we could point to a name of a Black person that was unjustly harmed in the community that they were at. And I remember Marcel saying it was scary. He's like, "That's scary, man." You know what I mean? And we could just point to it, right? So those type of situations, but just loving with the family, man, and keeping it 100. Like I always say, it's a block party. The chat right now, I see the chat. Salute to the chat. It's a block party in here. You know what I'm saying? My show last night was a block party. You know, we had like 190. I think we got like 216 people in the chat room last night, man. It felt like a reunion.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
the chat be live, man. I be trying to tell people, man, go to the chat. Boy, they be saying stuff in the chat sometimes where I be cracking up. You know, I don't want to be messing up or nothing because I'll be laughing
Right.
so much. But, you know, it's the same that goes for the Twitter spaces where there's so much love. And if you remember, brother, I know you do, we had a conversation at the tail end of last year. Actually, I think like New Year's Eve, I think. And we just spoke about this activist season. This is activist season. It's about healing everybody. It's about when a brother has a hard time at work and he just is upset and he wants to come on our space and just vent to us. Good. If a sister is stressed out and she's dealing with a lot of the anti-Black racism that our females suffer from, she can come on in and she can talk to us and vent. We provide that opportunity for everybody to talk because we all deal, you know, with the same situation, man. We all got that same problem. And it's good to be around brothers and sisters that talk. That's why I love the advantation of technology in which we take advantage of, which they didn't have back in the day. We got to remember this, man. Back in the old days with our parents and our grandparents, whenever they dealt with a situation, which is anti-Black racism that has always been here since day one, they had to just talk to whoever's in their house. And hopefully whoever's in their house is on code. Because by Percy Earl, it shows you that a lot of folks in our families are not on code. So where did the brothers and sisters back in the old days get a chance to go to? You know, where did they talk? We have that. You can pop on one of the spaces, man. You can come on in. When I was in DC, I had a grown man, a brother, and salute to that brother. He came up to me and he was like, yo, anytime I'm down, when my day is going messed up, man, I pop on that Black Alpha Network. And he said, my day is good. I'm feeling straight. And he's like, he told me straight up personally. He's like, yo, I'm tearing up right now talking to you. And I was just like, you know, it hit me right here, brother, in my FBA soul, brother. So I was like, man, you know, I got his connections and everything. So it's all love. But that's what our spaces do. That's what our content does. That's what it is with the family. So I love being with the family, man. I love being, brother. I love being with the family. I love chopping it up. When people pull up, when I see people call in new voices, I'm like, let's just talk, man. Let's just go because you're amongst family and I'm just your brother. You know what I mean? I'm just your brother and I want to talk to you. So I love it. And I want to keep it going, man. It's one of the highlights, man. I'm never, ever, ever, ever tired of being with my family, man. It's the FBA family tree. I don't care what branch you on. Hey, if you say hella, like y'all say out there on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You say salty or water, like we say down south, or you say sun or whatnot. Hey, if you FBA, man, it's all love. So let's just keep it coming, man. The more we build, the stronger we get. And it's all about that FBA family tree, man. So that's been my experiences with the family. And you can tell I'm passionate about it as I talk to you now. But, you know, that's been the beauty of it, man. And it shows you, man, that we're stronger than ever.
Facts. So, yes, brother, you know, I think we pretty much covered the topics that we wanted to hit. And we was actually able to hit it within less than 2 hours. Because, man, we was in that space for... Man, I think that space was close to 6 hours. What?
Yeah, that was lit, boy. I got a couple phone calls today, man. They was like, man, that space,
man.
Hey, my brother Afro, boy, let's just say Afro hit somebody with that KO last night, and you know what I'm talking about. And the person he hit with that KO is still asleep. They didn't pull out the smelling salt. They didn't try to shake him. They didn't try to wake dude up. Dude still asleep, man. He catch corona disease, man.
Man,
KO last night.
And you know what's so funny about that is that you got these cats that'll literally try to come into space and be like, okay, well, man, we cool, and I mean, I agree with you, but it's like, okay, and then the passive aggressive sister that was, well, you all just want to lose your history. Come on. And pouring it on way too thick, you know. And that's what I just had to say. Okay, I'm starting to see something that's a familiar pattern to me, and now either all y'all are talking the same by coincidence, or something else. You know what I mean? Something else. So, yeah, brother. You know, I'm as you know, this is my first live back since last week. And man, you know, being with around all of these talented Black folks is always a good thing, man. From this lane to the musical lane, We got cats like Dwan B. That brother's a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
Funny as
Brother
hell.
Sage. Brother Sage, a musician. A rapper. And also what's his brother's name? Juan. Juan, the producer. So shout out to them brothers, man. And then you got Tori and Rain Reloaded. You got Afro Elite. You got Kid Gravity Beyond, which is, he's pulling dual things because he's also a chef. So, so with that, looking at all this talent, we are really, really in a different time, family. And I hope that y'all could seriously understand the magnitude of some of the things you're going to come or see coming your way. That's why we want to kind of give you some, and we might do this in the future when we get more things that pop up that we have to discuss, because there's going to be more opposition language. There's going to be more disruptive agendas. One of the things that we have already heard is FBA is a hate group. No, FBA is a lineage. But notice the overbearing nature of a person that wants to make something what it's not. So that's another thing that we can point out as well. When we say it's a lineage, no, it's a group. You know it's a group. No, I don't. I know it's a lineage. A lineage cannot be a group. Now, there could be a group called FBA, but that's not what we're saying we are. You know what I'm saying, brother? So, just making sure that we're going to stay on top of these topics, because somebody has to. And we always need to keep each other sharp, aware of the current things that we are facing, especially when we have this newer technology. And we always got me and my brother talk often, brother. What do I say all the time? These spaces are doorways into people's personalities. So they're getting their blueprint on how to attack, and on a psychological level too. So just always be mindful of all the games that people can play. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, brother, go ahead and I'll let you go ahead and give your closing, man. Let them know where you can be located. Let them know what it is, and let them know what you got to say, brother. Now I'll let you have it.
Appreciate that, brother. First off, shout out to my man Blackjack 21, brother. I'm gonna go drink me a Red Bull here in a minute, brother. Salute to you. But just mad love to everybody. I want everybody to have a good, safe night, man. It was good chopping it up with y'all. We're gonna continue to bring the heat. We're gonna continue to do it. Y'all just tap into the Black Alpha Network. Y'all know how I go. Everybody down with the Black Alpha Network, Certified Black Society, understands we a family. We a family. Everybody, every subscriber, all my day ones, all my new ones, everybody, we a family. There's no internet, YouTube, none of that, man. It's a family. This is real, and we operate like a family. We laugh together, we ride together, we get pissed off together, but we do it in the freshest fashion, man. So we're gonna continue to bring the smoke, bring the heat, and anybody who don't like it, man, you know what they can do. I'm gonna be nice today, Zilla, but I'm gonna try to. But yeah, man. So everybody just stay good, man. Stay safe and healthy, man. You guys subscribe to my brother Zilla right here, as well as the rest of the new Black media. My brother Torian Reigns, Kid Gravity, Afro Elite, man. We putting in a lot of real work. But I always tell people, it's media that we put out, but at the same time, it's activist work, and we're doing it as activists. We do a lot of things physically in the streets. You know about the initiative we got down here, man. We trying to help feed foundational Black American homeless people. And, that came to me, brother, because I told you when I was in D.C. and me and Queen Alpha went to the White House after the rally, when I see so many homeless FBA, but I see tethers walking down the street, like with their chest out, it bothered me. So as soon as we got back, we put together an initiative to do that. So it's all activist work, man. And this is the year of the vanguards. We're all vanguards. I don't care if you got 5,000 followers or you got 5, everybody in the chat. You guys are all vanguards, and we're all one big FBA family tree. And, they only hate us because they can't break us, and they only try to break us because they can't replace us, man. So with that said, one love. Black is beautiful. Beautiful is always Black, and power to all of our people.
Facts. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. So like like we do here, family, I got to let y'all know real quick. This is just a real quick taste, less than a minute, of some of the stuff we were doing behind the scenes last week, if you was wondering where I was. So here's just a little tasty tidbit of that good old-fashioned funk, soul, black, foundational black American music. So yes, indeed, family. You know, from the music all the way to the grassroots, from the new black media to the world, Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? So yes, indeed. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed this conversation that we've had right here on the Beatzilla PDX official show. And, you know, like we do, this will be we might have to do this again. But, you know, shout out once again to my brother, Black Alpha Network, Alpha 6 of the Black Alpha Network, actually. But, you know, I don't, some of y'all can't even stop calling him Afro or Alpha Elite or Black Afro. But yes, indeed. So, again, you said no sound? Can y'all not hear me? You say my mic is on? Can y'all not hear me? Let me see. Okay. No, my sound's good. Yeah, that might, I don't know what happened. You know, when YouTube does that, you might have an update, or they haven't even shot you the update yet, but YouTube does that from time to time. So if you're wondering why you ain't getting no sound, that's a YouTube thing. But nonetheless, we're out of here, family. So make sure we have some, I plan on having some videos airing tomorrow. So you should be able to catch those. Just make sure you hit that notification bell, hit that word all. That way you are notified anytime this broadcast goes live or we upload a video. And the next live, of course, will be Friday for the weekly wrap up. So I hope you all have a blessed, enjoyable night. Stay safe, stay vigilant, stay black, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knocked out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.